For the second year in a row, it appears Congress will not pass a new farm bill, which includes SNAP and other food assistance programs. That means they will likely extend the 2018 farm bill for another year. Clayton Baumgart spoke with industry experts about the ramifications of again extending the 6-year-old piece of legislation.
Food insecurity continues to be an issue for millions throughout the country. According to a USDA report, in 2023, 13.5% of households in the United States were considered food insecure. That's a slight increase over the 12.8% that were listed as food insecure in 2022. Statistics like that mean food banks are always in need of assistance.
We're supporting a network of over 90 partner agencies in 6 counties with food that we have obtained from a variety of sources. A lot of it is rescued and donated, go to retail stores, wholesalers, collect food that they might otherwise throw out.
And one of the biggest things helping food banks in their mission is the Farm Bill, a piece of legislation that needs to be renewed every 5 years. Part of the bill focuses on agricultural policies such as crop insurance and conservation funding, but the majority of it covers the SNAP program, formerly known as food stamps, and other food assistance programs.
In our particular instance, it provided about 25% of the food that we distributed last year came through USDA commodity programs, and funding comes attached to those programs to help cover administrative expenses.
Last year, a new farm bill was due to be created in place of the 2018 version, but instead that was renewed for another year. Now, as we get closer to Election Day, it's looking less and less likely a new bill will be passed. It's frustrating for people like Alonzo because government inaction directly affects his organization's ability to carry out its mission.
I can't remember the last time Congress passed a budget on time, and unfortunately that has a ripple effect. Every time they kick the can down the road with a continuing resolution, it means that agencies like ours that are depending on that funding and that food don't know what we're going to get until the full budget is actually passed.
Alonzo says the need for an updated nutrition title is huge, as a lot has changed since 2018. The pandemic saw many families become food insecure, and that boom of those in need hasn't gone away, but the programs that help support them have.
The expanded child tax credit, universal free school meals, other anti-hunger initiatives, SNAP increases in benefits, additional commodities for food banks like ours. All of that stuff's gone away, but unfortunately the need has remained just as high as it was during the height of the pandemic.
Hoosier Hills is one of the 11 Feeding America food banks that serve the state. Feeding Indiana's Hungry represents those affiliates and says it's time for the 2018 Farm Bill to be updated.
When we have a static farm bill, things aren't necessarily lining up with what we need from an emergency hunger relief perspective.
Many of the programs in the Farm Bill, including the Emergency Food Assistance Program, or TFAP, have funding levels set for the cost of goods back in 2018. Those prices have increased significantly since then.
The support for commodity food in whatever format that might be has decreased and has gone back to sort of standard operating under the Farm Bill, but it's really not meeting the need. And so our members are struggling to have enough product to distribute.
While TFAP is important to food banks, it pales in comparison to the SNAP program in providing food to Americans in need.
Our member food banks distribute over 100 million pounds of food annually. That said, for every 1 meal that a Feeding America affiliate food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. It is the cornerstone of any nutrition security that we have as a country.
So why is something as important as SNAP rolled in with agricultural assistance programs and not its own piece of legislation? For one, as any person working in those realms will tell you, food security is national security. But it was also a strategic choice. In order to get both pieces passed more easily, they were combined into one bill to get votes from Republicans on the agricultural policies and votes from Democrats on the food assistance policies. Much has changed since the bill was originated.
The percentage of people utilizing SNAP benefits in rural areas is the same and sometimes higher than in urban areas. So any rural member of Congress who seems to think that the nutrition title doesn't impact their constituents is reading it wrong.
Now, the very thing that was leaned on to make the Farm Bill easier to pass may have become the thing halting it from progressing.
They're working hard and they'll do it when they can. But the system itself seems to be so bogged down in the partisanship that it makes it hard to move even an ag bill forward.
Many of the issues plaguing the nutrition side of the bill are also found on the ag side, namely the ever-changing sale price of crops.
Now you've got the farm community that's really dealing with low prices and high costs, and so there's just been so much that has changed since 2018 that things just need to be updated.
Lamb also said a new bill must find new markets for American agricultural goods.
The trade imbalance is going the wrong way for us right now, and so putting more money into those efforts, giving our products more of a market worldwide, makes all the difference.
So what are the risks of not passing a new bill? For the nutrition titles, much will carry on as it has, but without updated funding.
There's not any immediate change, largely because what we see in September for October has already been funded. Programs will continue so long as funding continues to be there, and that doesn't seem to be an issue in the short term.
The ag titles are largely similar in the short term, but one area could see major issues if not renewed or updated correctly: the dairy industry. Dairy is one of the more subsidized industries in agriculture, and the Farm Bill lays out much of that assistance. If January 1st comes along without a new or renewed Farm Bill, the country could face what is known as a dairy cliff, a point when we'd see prices of milk more than double.
Milk prices would skyrocket. We would see milk prices that we hadn't ever seen, quite frankly.
But the unprecedented would have to happen for that to occur.
If we can't get this thing done by, I guess, January 1st, then we start having some more significant conversations about the dairy cliff.
Currently, a House version of the bill is waiting for a floor vote. A Senate version hasn't made it out of committee. For Alonzo, any bill would be better than nothing.
The bottom line is that getting a renewed farm bill at the same levels is better than getting no farm bill at all. So, hopefully they'll at least get that much done.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Clayton Baumgarth.